This is SAT practice test number 7, section 3, math test no calculator, one page at a time, problems 16, 17, and 18. So if you would like to attempt these 3 problems without any hints, please pause now. I will provide some basic hints for all 3 and then go over them in more detail. For the first one, number 16, the hint would be to find the GCF, the greatest common factor of 2x plus 8, and factor it out. For number 17, the hint would be to acknowledge vertical angles. And in addition to that, to know that the 3 angles in any triangle always add up to 180 degrees. And for number 18, the hint is that pi radians equals 180 degrees. So we have GCF for 16. We have all 3 angles in a triangle add up to or have a sum of 180 degrees. And for number 18, pi radians equals 180 degrees. So I would encourage you to pause now and try these 3 problems if you haven't already done so, and then we'll go through them in more detail. So for 16, if 2x plus 8 equals 16, what is the value of x plus 4? If you kind of just look at that from the beginning and think, okay, the left side, if I divide everything by 2, then I would have x plus 4 would be the same as factoring out a 2. So GCF of the left side would be 2, and then you would have x plus 4 equals 16. But you're not factoring the 2 out of the right side. You're just representing the left side of the equation with a GCF of 2. And then if we divide both sides by 2, we would have x plus 4 equals 8. So these are the grid-in problems that you provide your own answers. Please see the video linked in the description for more information on putting in your own answers for these non-multiple choice. For number 17, first thing was vertical angles are equivalent or equal. So if we know that QPR is 60 degrees, then NPM will also have to be 60 degrees. And just some information that is provided is that NP equals QP. So NP equals QP, and that MP equals PR. So MP equals PR. Okay, so just to notate that. And what are we trying to find? We're trying to find QMR. So we're trying to find this angle down here. All right, so since we know that vertical angles are equal, we have that 60 and 60, either one of those. The other thing that would be helpful is to know that supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So anytime you have a straight line, the 2 angles have to add up to 180. So that would tell us either whichever 60-degree angle we look at, the other angle supplementary would be 120. So we can fill that piece in right here to equal 120. And then lastly, we can complete this triangle on the right since we already have the 70 and the 60. So 70 plus 60 plus, I'm just going to label that with an X, equals 180, means that that angle has to be 50 degrees. And if we know that's 50 degrees, then the triangle on the left, that angle also has to be 50 degrees, since we have those equivalent sides. And then we can conclude that PRM is going to be equivalent to what we're trying to find, which is our QMR. And if we already know that this angle up here is 120, then we have 120 plus our two other angles. So I'm just going to rename those with a y, just to have a new variable. I'll call those y, is going to equal 180, which means those two angles have to add up to 60, which means each of them are 30. So in degrees, so they're already telling you you're using degrees, so you would be able to just grid in 3 zeros, the 30 degrees for that angle. For number 18, the number of radians in a 720-degree angle can be written as a pi, where a is a constant. What is the value of a? So if we know that pi radians is 180 degrees, if we simply take 720 divided by 180, we will get 4. So if we look back at that, if we multiplied 180 by 4, we would get the 720, which means to convert, we would have to multiply pi times 4. So 4 pi, which means our a value is 4. So you would just grid in 4 for your answer for that one. Okay, so look for the next page of SAT Practice Test 7, Section 3 for numbers 19 and 20, one page at a time.